welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and for today's WIP Chats I am going to be doing the Diamond Art Club Minions painting. I'm going to be doing some of it. It was technically not that there is a very strict schedule, but by my ideal schedule I was going to be doing my Heaven and Earth Designs big painting today. However, let me zoom you in. It is also launch weekend for the new shop products yesterday. So yesterday was the launch and we did spend all of yesterday prepping many shop items. So some were done, but not as many as we hoped. And today is also going to be a very busy day, finishing off those last few prep bits, as well as, of course, packing orders. So because of that, I decided to go for Minions, because it's an easier painting to do. It doesn't involve as much brain power, and I feel as though my brain power today is still partly on the stuff we need to get done for the rest of the day. Because quite often each weekend I will spend at least one solid day filming. Sometimes I spread it over two, but this weekend I haven't really had the chance, so I'm probably going to have to film some videos after work through the week to have videos up hopefully every day, pretty much every day, for this main channel. And then of course I'll have some for the other channel as well, which I also need to do. In fact, while I have been placing this little row of diamonds, the doorbell has rang, which I'm hoping is some of the parcels I've been expecting. I get so used to having parcels in advance, ready for unboxings when I'm ready to do them. It throws me a little curveball when they haven't yet had a chance to arrive. And I'm wanting to get the videos done. So yeah, I decided to do Minions today because, say, it's a little bit easier for me to do. It's, you know, I don't have to think as much because, oh, I've got a spare black one there that has appeared. Let's see if we can get that one. I'm on a new glue dot as well on this pen, because this is one of the pens from the shop. There we go. So I'm on a new glue dot in this pen tip, so it can sometimes be a little bit extra sticky when I first start with fresh glue dots in my pen. But yeah, I just don't have to think as much, which is good. But I do get to diamond paint, which is also awesome, because I didn't get to diamond paint yesterday. I think last weekend was also a busy weekend. I think it was only my WIP and Chat I got to diamond paint on over the course of the whole weekend. So it's nice to know I've still got some done, even if it's not as much as I may usually get done. But I'm not complaining. I do like being busy. As long as it's organised busy. It's when it's disorganised busy that I'm not as keen. I've also, following my diamond painting logbook, which the video went up on Friday, I'm going to start going through and getting my logbook my kind of organised, you know, so that I can use it going forward on every painting. I want to get it all up to date and ready. And as part of that, Megan and I have gone through all of our diamond paintings that we have. We have actually been quite brutal and given up a lot of diamond paintings to, you know, be potentially in giveaways. We also have, oh, there's a black one floating on my desk. We've done a giveaway, or I've done a giveaway on my other channel that's just finished. And then we're also doing a winter fair at a nursery. So a nursery's holding a winter fair near Christmas, so they're not holding it till about December. But we're actually going to do a table where we sell for a small amount some of the diamond paintings that I'm not going to be able to do, that I've been gifted, and the proceeds will go to the nursery. So I think that's a nice way of doing it, mixed in, of course, with the giveaways that I love to do. Yeah, just to clear out some space. If anybody's seen my craft room, it is not the biggest. It has already become more than a craft room by the shop being added into most of it, / spreading into the conservatory. Yeah, so I space is a premium, so I do need to make sure that things flow and, you know, paintings are moved on, should we say, to their potential forever home on a regular basis. So I'm going to have to find somewhere to stash some things that will be suitable for the winter fair, and hopefully that'll help boost the nursery's little pot for spending on other stuff, and it should be a fun day. I can't do them all the time though, so giveaways will definitely still be a thing. It is much easier to pack up a little parcel of goodies and send it off in the post. So don't worry, giveaways aren't going away at all. We have stopped the giveaway for my second channel. It has finished, and we will hopefully be contacting the winners of that very soon. We just want to ensure that all the orders placed this weekend are packed and ready to go out first thing on Monday. I say first thing Monday, they'll be dropped to the post office on Monday and get them on their way to their new homes. So yeah, busy weekend, but absolute awesome busy as well. So let's have a look at the comments and stuff. I'm going to see if I can move my computer onto my desk a little bit, because, say, it's very cramped in this room at the moment. Very cramped. Stephanie says the drills for Mr. Quacker's look really good. They are. I will say, Stephanie, the drills for Mr. Quacker's are really good quality, considering there is a lot of 3865, so there is a big block of white. The drill quality is amazing for that big block, and squares are always the harder drill to get right, I'd possibly say. You know, companies, there are many companies that don't quite get it right, but Diamond Art Studio, from Mr. Quacker's that I've done, the drill quality is amazing, which makes it a dream to work on. And I'm hoping that the Diamond Art Club Wisdom Fox is the same. I have heard their drill quality is improved, so I'm hoping that their squares are good as well, because it's so much harder to enjoy doing a painting when the drill quality is not quite the same, even if you love the image. It can be hard to enjoy it fully if it's not amazing quality. Amanda says she loves the Sunday waffle and seeing Mr. Quackers come to life. Yes, Mr. Quackers is looking good. I'm enjoying doing the minions as well. I like the colour in the minions. Probably helps that there's a lot of blue. My glue dot's getting very tacky. Let me just dab it on my clothing. Somebody has also mentioned that actually wiping it on a piece of cover sheet can actually help take that, you know, that extra little bit of stickiness off, or the paper that the glue dots come on. So maybe that will be helpful if people are wearing, you know, maybe a particularly fluffy item of clothing, or they don't want it to pick up, you know, clothing fluff, which is not as pretty a fluff. It can be dirtier fluff, can't it, depending on how dark the clothes are that you're wearing. But somebody did mention to me that you know, wiping it over a piece of cover paper will take that edge off the stickiness for you if you find it sticking to the diamonds a little bit too much. And I pretty much always have some form of cover paper handy, so maybe that will work for me. On the likes of big paintings like this one, the Minions, I do only keep 2 rows of cover paper on it, and I move them up bit by bit. So if you saw at the beginning of my video that I have, of course, these 2 gaps here with diamonds on, but the cover paper is further up. That's why I just keep, how many sheets is it? 10 sheets. 10 of my smaller size sheets of cover paper in a row, and I just move them up when I'm done until it moves from being 1 row down here and 1 row above to 2 rows above. And then I trim the clear cover sheet down, ready for me to work on my next row. Peas done. Okay, Lisa has said, can you please refresh my memory regarding what content is on this channel and what content is on your other channel? I can. So I do have 2 YouTube channels for those that don't know. I have this channel, which is Add More Zest with Diamonds, Add More Zest for Kids at 147 diamond painting. And then I do have a channel that is called Add More Zest with Diamonds. So this channel that we're currently on, so the 4 Kids channel, is my main channel. That is where you will find shop items that are launching. You will find de-kitting videos, you will find kitting up videos, you will find all my tips and tricks series. I've had craft room tours, comparisons, there is absolutely loads. If you go to my website, which is here in the bottom corner, I do also have a section on there called videos, and a lot of the, let's call it timeless videos. I say timeless, you know, there will become a point where they're not as relevant, but that is where you'll find things like any comparisons that I've done. So I've done comparisons between companies that offer custom diamond paintings. I've done a comparison on one picture in multiple sizes so that you can, you know, hopefully help you decide which size painting is good for the image that you're wanting to do. I've done a comparison between round and square. So all of those are there. All the tips and tricks that I've done, some of them do need updating, and that is on my to-do list. It's on my sit-down to-do list rather than my stood-up to-do list. All my tips and tricks videos are going to be linked there. What else do I have in there? I'm just going on to the actual video section because I have loads of categories. So I have some beginner's guides. If you're just starting out in diamond painting, I have my spare storage and the main videos on that. I have my comparisons, I have videos on my heaven and earth designs, I have videos on storage, on my craft room, on applications that you can use for diamond painting, some apps for your phone. I have it on what to do if you've got no DMC numbers. I have my round versus square, I have some on framing and mounting, I have some on tools, you know, that may be more of an unboxing video, but it gives you an idea of some of the tools and stuff that are out there. So I have a whole section where you'll find those. And then on YouTube itself, if kitting up may be the thing that you know, enjoy the most, for example, I have a playlist on YouTube that will have all my kitting up, that has all my kitting down. I have an unboxing one as well, so if unboxings is what you prefer, you'll find them all on YouTube under unboxing, more than you'll find them on my website. But there's a lot of variety on this 4Kids channel. My new channel that launched on the 1st of October, which is Add More Zest with Diamonds, and it is linked in the description. If you're not subscribed yet, get yourself over there. I have just finished a giveaway for hitting 1,000 subscribers on that channel, and they're the people that will be contacted in the next few days once we have drawn or random number generated the 3 winners. But apart from the likes of the odd giveaway, which can happen on either channel, I primarily do unboxings on the other channel. I do occasionally still do some on this main channel, but the majority of my unboxing videos are done on that second channel, on the Add More Zest with Diamonds. So if you like to, you know, see in person or on a camera more the size of a diamond painting and the types of colours that come with it, and links of where to pick diamond paintings up, you know, maybe you just like that browse for ideas rather than losing hours browsing on a website, because believe me, some evenings all I feel I do is browse shopping for diamond paintings for that channel. There's a lot of time that goes into picking what diamond paintings to show you guys. They all tend to be on my second channel, and it's 2 to 3 videos a week at the moment that I put up on that channel. I can't keep up with a video per day on each channel. This channel I aim for a video a day, but occasionally there won't be one. So for example, yesterday I was far too busy, or me and Megan, it was both of us all day. We were far too busy doing shop items and making sure that everything was ready for the launch, and we were there to ask anybody's questions over the new items that were launched. So all that was going on yesterday. So there wasn't a video on this main channel, but I did make sure there was one on the other channel. So if you subscribe to both, you will get a minimum pretty much of a video a day. Occasionally, of course, you will get 2 when I have a video on each channel. The videos on this main channel do tend to come out at 4 PM. And I think we're still on British summertime at the moment, but basically UK time zone, so it flips between British summertime and Greenwich Mean Time. They come out at the same time every day. On the other channel they vary. I completely mix up the times that they come out on the other channel to try and hit everybody in the world, occasionally getting one at a time that's good for them. A little bit more random, so do make sure that you are subscribed to both, and do hit the notifications. At least then you'll be told when they are available. and then you can choose when to tune in. So I hope that's clear. That was a lot of waffle for one question. But hey, it's a WIP and waffle. That's what's supposed to happen. Donna, she says she has a de-kitting share. She's working on a Heaven and Earth designs for which she's saving her spare drills. She has her pretty storage, so she'll have our stickers, and she has a bag for each colour. In each bag that she's saving her squares, she's placed a square of cardstock. So that when she's de-kitting, she knows which one needs to go into her spares box for a Heaven and Earth design. That's a good idea. And she sets it aside. And that way she doesn't have to go through her spares box first. She just goes through her pretty storage. So I think that makes sense. So very similar to my main spare storage. She has it all set up pretty with the DMC numbers. But then she does put a piece of cardstock in there when it is one that she's using for a Heaven and Earth designs. And she just, when she comes across that piece of cardstock, she puts her spare diamonds aside and then puts them into her Heaven and Earth designs afterwards. Whereas often when I de-kit a square, I will go through my Heaven and Earth designs box first and then put into my normal spare storage everything that's left. She does it the other way around. I like the fact that there's variety. Everybody finds a way that works for them, and I think it's amazing. And I love all the ideas. That idea is a good way of doing it as well, because you get to go through your pretty storage first rather than your not as pretty. I feel like I'm going to miss some 4s. There are a lot of 4s on here, but it's a very, very similar colour to the 7. And I kind of feel like I'm going to miss one if I don't pay attention to which block I'm working in. We've got, see, look, I've missed one down here. Trying to do it in sort of little mini groups. Maybe I should just keep doing it in a line instead. So I'll just double check. Okay, so all this block I've done all the 4s, and this block I've done all the 4s. So let's do this one in lines. Go across and get all the 4s, and then go up to the next one and see how that works. Then I can try not to miss any because I'm not looking all over my diamond painting. I'm concentrating on one row at a time. And hopefully I won't miss any. But it's been known to happen. And it's bound to happen again at some point. Susan, she says, I'm back again. I love it. I love the interaction. She had a thought about the colours of trays that we release for each month. And look, I've stopped doing a row and I'm just going to confuse myself. Let me go back to doing rows. January, she says garnet. Oh, and July is ruby. May is emerald. Okay, so basically using the colours for the month. So like the birthstone month, she's suggesting using those as a guide for the limited edition colours. I do like the idea. It might be something that we incorporate, maybe not 2022, maybe it'll help us in 2023 if we're still going. The only reason that we're not necessarily adopting that at the moment is due to the requests for coloured trays that we've already had. So there has been quite a few different discussions on the colours of limited edition trays, and a lot of people have put in sort of requests for certain colours, We do also recognise that, for example, the purple, the memory card saves. So I just tipped that number 4 back into the pot while we were paused. So there is a lot of colours that have been requested, and we do also recognise that purple is a very, very popular colour. In our stickers, we notice that it's a very popular colour. And we do also recognise that purple was our first limited edition tray that we launched. It was actually under the 4Kids at 147 branding. And because it was the first tray that was launched, I don't think anybody, ourselves included, realised how quick some of the limited edition trays would go. So we recognise that there will be people that were, thinking about it, saw it become available, thought about whether to get it, and by the time they'd made a decision, it had gone. Because the trays fly out, absolutely fly out. So we do think we'll bring purple again back, for another run in 2022. Yes, 2022. We will bring it out again, probably quicker than we might bring some other colours back. But at the moment, we are working through the list of requests for colours / our favourite supplier for filament. So if anybody does have a 3D printer themselves or has worked with 3D printing, you do find that some filaments are a lot easier to work with than others, and can produce less mistakes. So the first purple filament that we worked with, we did have quite a few trays that were not fit for purpose. It took a lot of tuning in to get that filament to work right and give us the quality that we wanted. But we have since found at least one manufacturer that, there is more than one, but there's one key one that we have found that their filament is giving us good trays on a consistent basis. We're not having to tweak a lot. So compiled with the list of wants, we are working through that supplier as well. We're working through every colour option that they provide before we then venture to try and find another or one of our other filament providers that we use for the stock trays. We'll then try some of their colours as well to get through the list first. We're trying to bring out 2 trays when it's possible. It all depends on the stock levels and the printing. But maybe, once we have sort of got everybody's request done, then maybe we can go to a bit more of a, structured colour route, maybe around the likes of birthstones. I do like the idea of that, of it being that birthstone, that month for the colour. So we'll keep that in mind. Lisa says Heaven and Earth Designs do also sell blank canvases. She hasn't ordered them, so she can't speak for the price and the shipping times. That is good to know, because I do like the quality of the canvas of the printed Heaven and Earth Designs that we have purchased and not yet done anything with. They are sat there, they are on the to-do list. But yeah, I do like the idea that they do one. If you want a really nice quality canvas to do your Heaven and Earth Designs on, then maybe get the blank canvas from Heaven and Earth Designs themselves and then work on the canvas, as a blank one rather than as a printed one. Or if you're unsure, of course, work on the printed ones. because there will be a little level of ease. Jolie says she bought an art dot and it didn't work well. This was in last week's discussion. I'm not sure exactly which art dot she's on about, but she said something about it having a plastic cover on it that you need to peel off. Oh, this will be the light pad. Okay, so she found hers had a plastic cover that needed peeling off, and her light pad worked better after that. So the lady with the art dot light pad with the bigger dots in it, maybe have a look and see if you do have a plastic cover on. That may help. Conversation came back to me then as I was discussing it. Tammy says, how much time a day do you devote to diamond painting? Is there a block set of time? She said she was hoping to do an hour a day, but sometimes life gets in the way. I do quite often get a good 2-3 hours, many evenings a week, to diamond paint. All our children are older, so our youngest is 17. We do have all 4 children at home, but the youngest is 17, and everybody chips in with sort of household chores, should I say. So Megan does the cooking, Catherine and Karis do the dishes. So that's like 2 main per day jobs that I don't have to take responsibility of. My main responsibility is washing of the clothes, which I can quite often fit in while working from home, which frees up my evenings. It won't be the same when I'm not working from home, but while I am, I do have the benefit that if it's a nice day, I can throw a load of washing on and, you know, throw it out on the line and let the weather do its thing. So I do tend to get a good couple of hours most evenings. There are evenings where that doesn't happen. Either we've got plans or we're going out, or there are days that I need to, you know, respond to emails. I try and respond to emails pretty much every day, but there are days where I need to catch up on emails with contacts. Oh look, I missed a number 4. I knew it. Where I have to, you know, go shopping for diamond paintings, for example. That can sometimes take up pretty much the whole evening. So I might not get to diamond paint every evening. And weekends, I'll try and get a couple of hours once I've finished, you know, whatever I'm filming or doing for the day. It'll be like, okay, now I need to sit and chill and diamond paint. And I like listening to an audiobook often when I'm diamond painting. But sometimes even that doesn't happen. Sometimes it's just due to sheer exhaustion. I'm even too tired to diamond paint. Last night, I think we're still going, just gone 9, I think, when we finally stopped. And I actually didn't get my diamond painting out to continue. I watched the tennis. So very well done to Emma Raducanu for winning the US Open for Great Britain. I thought both girls, Fernandez as well, did absolutely amazing in the final. But Emma did just have that edge. When I looked at the stats, she had they were very, very well matched. Both of them had very, very similar, you know, percentages and scores through most of them. But Emma did tip the scale just by a fraction on most of them. And I think she did absolutely amazing. So I think tennis is going to get, it's got a new breath of life, I feel, from UK-wise anyway. I feel like it's just got this little bit of new vitality because she's come from, what seems like nowhere. It's not from nowhere. Oh, there's another 4 there. It's not from nowhere. There's a lot of dedication and hard work that definitely goes into it. But in regards to, the amount that it's spoken about and on the news and stuff, it's as though she's practically come from nowhere and has done amazing. So I think that's going to make the tennis very exciting. It will be, the Australian Open will be the next one in January. And yeah, it should be fun to watch. Margaret has said, just a thought, maybe you should concentrate on the small Heaven and Earth design on a rotation with the normal paintings, and then once the small one's finished you could concentrate on the big one. Because she said, I think you need to look forward to Waffles like we all do. It is tempting. It is very tempting to sort of cut one of the Heaven and Earth designs out of the cycle. However, while the small one is the easier one of the two to do, because it has less colours, so I can do more blocks of it. But I also feel as though the big one is so big that I need to be at least doing a little bit of it, because they're both going to take years at this rate. Unless I'm able to dedicate, or try and dedicate some of my normal diamond painting time to them, I think they're both going to take a long time. And I kind of don't like the idea of giving up on what. There's another number 4. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, I kind of feel like I don't want to give up on one of them completely. I feel like I need to still keep it in there, but bear in mind the likes of today, because of the shop work and the stuff that we've been doing this weekend, and the fact that it's been busy, that sometimes I might just nudge it out of the way just a little bit by delaying it until hopefully next week, and I'll do it next week instead. I don't think I can cut it out completely. Just because I feel like it will never get done if I'm not doing something. I've already abandoned both of them for so many months when I was busy doing the comparisons, and I wasn't even doing a WIP and Chat each week. And, I was concentrating on getting the custom comparison paintings done and, trying to mix in other paintings for variety. I feel like the Heaven and Earth design has been abandoned a little, enough. It's been abandoned enough, and I do feel like I need to keep it in there. But I do appreciate that everybody is, more than happy for me to shuffle them about every now and then, like today, as a prime example. Tamara says, are the boosters available in the UK? She had hers on Friday, but hers is because she has an autoimmune disorder. I think the boosters have started to become available. There's still not quite clarification on who is going to get it. I think it's this next week they're thinking of bringing them out. I'm pretty sure that the autoimmune disorders will be offered the booster, as one of the primary groups. I think from the last I read on it, which I don't even know if it's been clarified yet, I think it was the 4 main groups that were offered the COVID vaccine first that will be offered the booster. So was that the over 80s, those that were on the shielding for certain conditions, those in care homes and the NHS workers or care workers? I think they're the groups that they were talking about offering the booster to. Over the rest, they would just get the standard 2. So if that's the case, I am likely to be offered it. I just don't know when. So time will tell. If they decide that the booster is best for my category, then I'll take the booster. But there is talk about how much it is needed and how much to support other countries that, you know, are struggling with the vaccine rollout in the first instance. So there is a bit of discussion between, you know, where it should go first. Katie Ann says she stores her pens or her tips in a plastic bag when she's not using them, and it helps with the glue dots. So some people found that the glue dots can seem to dry out a little bit, or that's what I think it could be. Like they lose their sticky a little bit, and I think it could be it drying out. But Katie Ann keeps hers in a plastic bag, and that stops that. So if you're having trouble, maybe give that a go. Keeping your pens in some sort of bag, whether it needs to be airlock or whether it just needs to be covered up. You know, so in the likes of a pencil case or a bag to stop most of the air hitting it. I'm not sure. But that could be an idea to try. I find it can be very hit and miss from day to day as to whether my glue dot seems to have dried out a little bit or not. So maybe it's just more common when you've had the glue dots in your pen for a while. Because I found it was about a week after I'd filled up a pen and been using it all the time. So it wasn't just a week and then it sat there on its own. I did find that I'd been using the pen constantly for about a week, and then I found out each evening I went to it, it dried out a bit. So maybe it's just because the glue dot is older and therefore it needs a little bit more TLC, but it still lasts loads longer than the wax. So I'm keeping with them. I'm loving using glue dots. For definite. Okay, that's that one done. Now I need to go and catch that other number 4 because I knew I'd end up missing a load. But it happens. Let's do this E, and then I've only got a nice bit of bright colour. So Oreo Day 99, she says, I've really enjoyed your channel. I want to know your opinions on some things she's been thinking of trying. Sorry, I'm half reading a comment and half looking for my letter E. It's in here somewhere. There it is. What are your thoughts of placing round rails on a square printed canvas? So she really wants to get rid of her spare round drills. She has so many of them. And the only place she knows that sells just the canvas alone is Heaven and Earth. However, they're meant for square drills. She was thinking of getting one of the coloured pour glue canvases and placing round drills on it. She does understand that she would see the grid underneath. But she thinks if she got a picture with dark colours, then the grid would be hard to see. What are your opinions, and do you think it might work? I don't think it will work. And there is one main and very big reason for that. It's not the fact that you could potentially see the grids underneath. I think, you know, by going with dark colours, you could very well make that work. And I appreciate that, you know, from a distance, you probably wouldn't be able to see the grid lines. The reason I say it won't work is round drills are actually bigger than square drills. And that's purely the reason it won't work, is because round drills are bigger. So square drills are 0.25, I think, of a centimetre, or 0.24 of a centimetre, whereas round drills, I think, are 0.27 or 9. I might be a little bit off on the measurements between the two, but they are definitely bigger, which means you wouldn't be able to fit them in the space. It's not trying to fit a square drill in a round hole or a round drill in a square hole. You know, you could fit something round into a square if it was, you know, the same width across, diameter, that's the word I was looking for. If it was the same diameter, you would just have that gap round the outside. But in this case, round drills are bigger. So they would go over the space of the grid lines, but in turn you then wouldn't be able to put the one next to it. You can get blank round canvases, so it wouldn't have the pattern on. So you would have to do it sort of the same way that I did, using a blank canvas rather than one with the design printed on. But it could be done. And more often than not, the round canvas that you can get the blank ones, which I would probably say AliExpress would be your easiest to get them from. They do tend to come with the little circles around them, very similar to what this Diamond Art Club one does. They just, of course, don't have the symbol in the middle. And you would then find that the blank canvas would be white. So you would see white around the outside. I'm just going fishing for all of these diamonds because I don't need many of each of them. And I think because my glue dot's quite sticky, it's easier than going into tipping them into the tray and putting them back each time. So yeah, I'm sorry that wouldn't work just because of the size. Fiona, so last question, only added on today. So quick answer for you, Fiona. Is there a chance you may do a lid for the trays? Are you still looking at doing a smaller tray? And what are the chances of a tower to fit your tray into? Sorry for all the questions. Love your products and videos. So there's 3 questions there. So the short version is no, yes, no at the moment. So is there a chance you may do the lid for the trays? At the moment, that's a no. It is, because of the design of it, it is something that we may well work on, but it needs a lot of tweaking. And at the moment, the printers are still on every day, working overtime on just the trays. So there hasn't really become a point where looking at lids would be practical. Early on, there was also a couple of different shades of pink, for example, until we've settled on a producer of a pink colour that works and works every time. So it may be that if we did lids, maybe they would have to be the grey so that they would sort of match with any. So it's not a no on that one. That is probably more of a maybe, but it's not in the short future. In relation to looking at doing a smaller tray, stay tuned for October is what I'm saying. October launch. For that one, we have been having some messing. I may have actually used a smaller tray in a WIP and Chat once. I did use it in a standard colour. I think it was a white one that I used. Nobody seemed to notice though, but there is a little bit of a difference to it, not a huge difference. But yeah, stay tuned for October for that one. And what are the chances of doing a tower to fit your tray in? The tower to fit the trays in is probably more of a no than the likes of the lids. The only reason is 3D printing a tower wouldn't be practical. It would take a very, very long time to print, and the printers are used all the time for trays because, you know, the demand for trays and the demand for limited edition trays is high. So all three printers are constantly busy doing that. And if they did become free, we would more likely, you know, look at doing lids than we over a tower. In relation to something else a tray holder could be made out of, it's not out of the question if we can find something that's already been manufactured for another purpose that would work well for our trays, then that is something we may look into. Other than that, we would have to look to finding a specific supplier that could make it to our specifications. And that could be trickier because that involves a stock volume that is potentially far too high for what we could meet. It could end up meaning that we're basically putting in an order for tray holders that, if it doesn't sell well, could take us years to sell. But it's not a no, because if we do find something that these fit in, you know, that may be manufactured for something completely different, then yeah, we may look to acquiring that. But it'll take quite a bit more work to find a potential tray holder. In between though, some people have used Lego to build themselves a tray holder. So maybe that's something that if I get the chance to mess properly, maybe that's something we could look to doing. You know, finding the individual Lego pieces for you to build your own tray holder. Maybe that'd be fun. But yeah, it's on our radar. It's something we will look for, but it's not an easy task. Does that make sense? But one of them is definitely coming, Fiona. Definitely. Okay, Minions is done. Questions have been got to. Quite an exciting one for the next one. Look, we have a flower appearing. We've managed to do a little bit of it. No ABs in this section, but that's fine because I left my AB pen in the other room. Thank you so much for joining me for today's waffle. And yeah, for everybody's support in relation to the recent launch in the shop as well. It's been amazing. I am going to go and get this video on YouTube, and I'm going to get those goodies packed up and ready so that you can all have the excitement of receiving a parcel. But thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.